then he opened with knight f6, which is the Indian defence, which is a really good opening, and I would recommend it to anyone because it's better than d5. And then played the main line c4, and he went g6, aiming for a grunfeld or a king's India. And then I went f3, which is a little surprise weapon, which I'm not going to really tell you about, seeing as you'll start preparing any games against me. But I'll give you a bit of information. The main idea is that after d5, you take, and after knight takes d5, once you go pawn up to e4, the knight has to go back to b6. And then the main differences is that there's a pawn f3 instead of c3, and there's a pair of knights on the board. So if black tries to go to c5, you can just chop it off. That's why I prefer it. P.S. Ignore the annoying little kid in the background. Do the ass slap later. Right. After this, I'm continuing with bishop e3, which is main line. He went bishop g7, which is also a book. Then came knight e2. The problem with this line is the main weakness is that this bishop can't like find a good square, the light square bishop, because the pawn f3 is creating like a traffic jam. So the main idea is to maybe route the knight to c1 and to b3, castle queenside, and watch a mating attack. But black will also get counter plays. So, but this line's still recommended if you want to hack people up, like I do. Then black castled, knight c3, e6. Which it takes me out of books, because I don't think blocking this bishop's really that good, but I suppose it blunts all the pressure. Knight c6 would have been preferred, putting some more pressure on d4, because my next move is knight c1, because I don't want to play knight c. I don't want to like play queen d2 straight away, which is my plan, because he's going to go knight c4 then, which will win the important e3 bishop, which is the most important piece of the game.
Oh.
Also, I want to route the knight to b3 to support d4, that's some more protection to the queen side. Next came knight c6, attacking d4, so I went knight b3. And he went rook e8 here, which I wasn't really sure what the idea was, to be honest. I thought it was a bit of a wasted move. And then, computer seems to like bishop b5 for some reason, but I didn't consider it during the game. I mean, what's the bishop doing there? It's point of thin air. So instead I continue my plan of queen d2. This opening is also kind of known as a 150 attack as well, which is quite appropriate since I'm nearly 150. And then here he went, I'm going to ask him now, what did you mean by when you went f5? Like, what's the point?
I tried to open the diagonal for my bishop because it was a bit stuck. So I thought that if I go f5, you take, and I take both of the e-pawn, I'll be able to play bishop e6 and to get my bishop in the better square.
Yeah, but in the game, I decided after f5.
You pushed on, didn't you?
Yeah, I went e5 blocking in the bishop, but the only condition is it gives you the d5 square, so you occupied it. But it seems like queen f4, queen h4 check the computer if you just go back. Queen h4 check seems to be like here. Which I'm not sure what it is. I mean g3 supposed to weakness for g3. I suppose I have queen h5, bishop e2. Just don't look this brilliant for black, I suppose. The computer seems to like it. I'm not sure what the idea is though. I suppose it slows down white's kingside attack, because the pawn's going to find out how to get forward with the queen now, adds more protection to the king. But it seems a bit trapped, but it always got h3 I suppose, which is a good square. Anyway, back to continuation. Instead he went knight d5. And here I nearly fell into a trap here actually. I nearly went bishop h6, which will lead to queen h4 check winning the piece. But instead, I realised that because e3 bishop is the most important piece, I have to take on d5. But it's definitely better for me this position. I mean, computer is giving a good evaluation of minus 0.53 for some reason. Anyway, queen takes d5. Then here, I think I should have gone rook c1, but it says it sees an open file, but I want castle queenside, that's my idea. It's very risky, but I just want to like win this game quickly because I had a bit of a disaster in round 1, you see, and I was playing against a website course, so I was trying to hack him up, so I decided to go bishop e2 instead, which maybe there might be plans later maybe if the bishops come off to go f4 and then put pressure on h5. And then he went b6, so I was he wants to finish shadow his bishop on b7, or maybe come out to a6 at some point, but when it's can't go there yet. And then I thought I'd go for castling, I thought I'd go h4 and start hack attack. Main plan's obviously to play h5, and if it takes to get open file, and I can cast a queen side and double rooks in the h file and win. And then he went bishop f8, like recycling the bishops, and it's all blocked in. And again, he's threatening bishop b4, winning the queen. So I fought for ages there and decided that I'll be brave and I'll castle queenside right into a possible mating attack. However, the computer still likes my position, but black certainly does have some attacking chances and he has some queenside pressure. I thought they won't be able to get any pieces in, enough pieces. He can only get his knight and queen and a couple of pawns in, so he went knight b4. And there's a little trap here which may have fallen for. I was thinking of casually playing bishop h6, but then I fell for knight takes a2 check, which just wins a piece. Or you can take an h6 first. Yeah, and he takes an a2 with a strong attack. So back to game continuation. I went king b1, protecting a2. And now let's look at this position. Now black seems to have a slight edge in this position, and in fact the computer is suggesting a piece sack on a2, which I will consider. Let's have a look at it. Knight takes a2,
a6,
king takes a2, a5. So there's a dire threat of a4 winning the piece back, and there's not anything can really be done about it. In fact, the position is slightly edge to the white, but you got queen c3 is best, a4, bishop c4, takes on b3 check, king b1, king gets b3 is too risky, and then queen a5. And after the queen's come off, black has well, it's about equal, I'd say, the end game, so it's better than the game continuation anyway, that's for sure. Now back to the game. Just to go over to the other team, what was you actually thinking at this point in the game? Was you quite happy that castle queenside?
I was actually thinking that a2 will work, but I didn't find a continuation to it, so I just decided to play
a5.
a5.
And after a5, he really is threatening to take an a2 because he got a4 straight away, and my king's busted. But now I can go knight c1, which practically covers everything up, because now there's no like Saxon a2 or anything. Next move was a4, trying to play a3 and mash me up. And there's a very interesting part here. I went a3 here, and I was thinking maybe he could sack a piece on b4 with c5, see what the computer thinks. c5 and he's going to yeah, c5. So let's see. Saying it looks like it's unsound, but it looks dangerous. Takes. C takes b4. Now what's the says just get the attack with h5. That seems a bit weird, but it's best. That's very dangerous. I won't want to be playing against this. a3. You can take on g6. Takes back. Knight d3. Seems that white can defend this, but some black pawns are very dangerous. White's king's open, but I think black's king's going to come to fire soon. Now the evaluation's like completely changed to an advantage to black with bishop a6. Now it's gone back to match to white. Bizarre, but it seems it would cause me some problems, and I might not have found the best moves under the pressure, so I think that would have been better game continuation, because after if we go back. after a3, he went knight a6, and now there's no threats. So I can actually get with my own attack, and I've got loads more firepower aimed towards his king. So I can just go h5. Hey, what was you thinking at this point? Like, I thought you should have like switched to defensive mode. You seem to carry on hacking, so what was you thinking?
Not really sure, I can't really remember, but I knew it would be over soon, but I just didn't know how, because you had a really strong attack and I just screwed everything up on my attack, so you had an advantage. But somehow the computer shows the valuation is minus 1.60.
Yeah, suggesting g takes h5, which you wouldn't even consider, would you? Because you think after rook takes h5, and you just go rook h1, it's a mating attack, so let's see what the refutation is. He takes h5, and now it keeps changing the evaluation, but yeah, but it seems to computer suggest it's best, but bishop h6 is very strong. Queen d7, then queen g5 check, very strong. King h8, and then rook takes h5, and white's got a very strong attack here. I think this looks almost game over to me. Yeah, there's pressure on h7, there's piece on black's king, black's got no counter plays. Game over this pretty much. Anyway, back to the game. Instead he carried on hacking with c5. c5. And then I decided to take an h, but now I've got e10, now I decided to take an h6. g6, sorry. And it takes back. So I'm going to take an h7 and bishop h6, and now there's multiple threats like bishop takes f8 and queen h6 checking. However, here comes the clanger with queen takes d4, double question mark. And then we'll just go through the game, and then we'll go back to the position and tell you what black should have played. And then yeah, queen g5 just wins loads and loads of material. So it's discovering an attack on the queen, where threatening queen takes g6 check, which wins as well. So you find out loads of material because it goes queen takes e5. Takes the g6 check, bishop g7 only move, queen takes e8 check, king h7, and then bishop f4 check, bishop f4 check, force resonation, it's practically force mate, and the queen's going. So it's the end of the game. So let's go back to move 22 and see if black had any like better moves, because white's attack does look very strong, but shows an improvement on that. So it has to be. So let's see. Bishop e7. And now the computer is suggesting a very strong bishop g7, which is like trapped king basically. The main next to bishop can't be taken due to queen h6 check. Yeah, it's a main force check. King f7. Queen h7 check. King f8, queen h8 check, king f7, and rook takes a7, mate. Keep the computer. So let's go back. So the bishop can't be taken. So the best defense is g5. Then amazingly enough, the bishop moves again, but this time to f6. And it has to be taken, otherwise mate will quickly follow. So takes, he takes f6, and now black can go f4, which exposes the queen's defense of g5. And in this position, white does have a very strong attack and a better position, and it's 3 points still according to computer, but it's not game over yet. But white should win this easily, but with me, you don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you on YouTube.